Hello and welcome to Roosevelt High School Theater's Acting Showcase. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are so excited to have you watching our first ever virtual version. Typically, Acting Showcase starts with a round of improv from our prestigious RUCKUS team, followed by movement, monologues, scenes, and songs from Oregon Thespians Regional Acting, August Wilson Monologue, and English-Speaking Union Shakespeare competitions. Since much of the material for regionals and August Wilson Monologue is drawn from published plays that require different permissions than live performances, we regret that we are unable to share these works with you tonight. However, we are elated that we will be able to hold our ESU event and watch RUCKUS Improv this evening. Tonight, we will start with our always incredible English-Speaking Union Shakespeare competition. The winner from this level will go on to represent Roosevelt High School at the branch competition. If they win at the branch level, they will go to the national level to compete for additional scholarships and opportunities. How it works is that each competitor selects one 20-line monologue and one sonnet by William Shakespeare. They must perform, not merely recite, their selections. Our esteemed judges will be watching from their homes, adjudicating each individual's performance on understanding, expression, and communication. While the judges deliberate, we'll be delighted by the antics of our Rough Rider RUCKUS team. So, let's get started with our first ESU competitor.
Hello, my name is Edme Getcho, and I will be performing two pieces tonight. The first is a monologue from Richard II, Act 3, Scene 2, lines 160 to 182, omitting lines 168 and 171. I will be portraying the character of Richard. And the second is Sonnet 15. Thank you. For God's sake! Let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. How some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by ghosts. They have deposed, some poisoned by their wives, some sleeping killed, all murdered. For within this hollow crown which rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court. And there the antic sits, allowing him a breath, a little scene in which to monarchize, be feared, and kill with looks. As if this flesh which walls about our lives were brass impregnable, and humor thus comes at the last, and with a little pin bores through his castle walls, and farewell, king. Cover your heads and mock not flesh and blood with solemn reverence. Throw away respect, tradition, form, and ceremonious duty, for you have but mistook me all this while. I live with bread like you. You want, taste grief, need friends. Subjected thus. How can you say that I am king? When I consider everything that grows holds in perfection but a little moment, that this huge stage presenteth not but shows whereupon the stars and secret influence do comment. When I perceive that men as plants do grow, cheered and checked by the self-same sky, vaunt in their youthful sap, at height decrease, and wear their brave state out of memory, then the conceit of this inconstant stay sets you most rich in youth before my sight, as wasteful time debateth with decay to change that day of youth to sullied night. when all at war with time for love of you. As he takes from you, I engraft you anew. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aubrey Nelson, and I'm going to be performing as the part of Helena in Act 3, Scene 2 of Midsummer Night's Dream, and followed by Sonnet 95. Oh, spite! Oh, hell! I see you all are bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. Can you not hate me, as I know you do, but must join in souls to mock me too? If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not do such a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and superpraise my parts, when I am sure you hate me with your hearts. You both are rivals to love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise. To conjure up tears in a poor maid's eyes. With your derision, none of noble sort would so offend a virgin and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport. How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame, which like a canker in the fragrant rose doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, in what sweets dost thy those sins enclose? That tongue that tells the story of thy days, making lascivious comments on thy sport, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise, naming thy name blesses an ill report. Oh, what a mansion have those vices got, which for their habitation chose out thee, where beauty's veil doth covered every blot, and all things turn to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, of this large privilege. The hardest knife ill-used doth lose his edge. Thank you.
Thank you to our ESU competitors. All right, judges, you have your work cut out for you. And while they deliberate, let's bring out the one, the only, Roosevelt Rough Riders Ruckus Captain, Lily.
Hey, didn't they all do such a great job? And didn't David do such a great job hosting? Oh, yes, he did. Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm the captain of the Ruckus team. A little about Ruckus. It is Roosevelt's improv team, and we're going to be putting on a little mini show while the ESU competitors are judged, and the judges are doing their thing. But enough about that. Let's welcome in the beautiful Ruckus team, starting with DeAndre,
Wow.
Paige, Jackie, Eleanor, Unixia, Dylan, Ro, Kai, and that's it. That's all of it. Okay, let's start off with Paige hosting our first game. Take it away, Paige.
Hi. Okay, today we're going to be playing Category POW. I'm going to say category, and then everyone's going to like say things under the category until someone says something twice. They take too long to respond, or I decide I don't like their answer. I'll say POW, and then they'll be out, and then the last man standing wins. Okay, the first category is very simple. It's just ice cream flavors. Go.
Mint.
Chocolate.
Strawberry.
Vanilla.
Strawberry.
Ooh. Was that said twice?
Yeah,
That was said twice. POW. Row, out. All good. Next thing is going to be fast food restaurants.
And this time, go in the order that we're on screen. Lily to Eleanor, and then Kai to Unixia, and then back to me. Okay, what was the thing? Fast food restaurants? McDonald's.
DeAndre.
Burger King.
I don't play. It goes to Jackie.
And it looks like
In-N-Out
Jackie's...
Burger.
Down to Kai.
Subway.
Dylan, you took too long to respond. Pow, you are out. I'm sorry. The next thing we're going to be doing is things that you would find in a hotel room. Starting with Lily.
Soap.
Towel.
We're going to skip over Jackie. It looks like their Wi-Fi's broken.
Soap.
Oops, soap was said twice. It was said by Lily. Kai, you are out. Pow. Next thing is bands, famous bands.
Queen.
ABBA.
Nirvana.
Eunyxia, pow. Too long of a pause. Okay, we are going to book to movie adaptation. So movies that were books.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my god. The Vampire Diaries.
Lily, you've taken too long to respond. Pow, you are out. Okay. Things that you would find in a kitchen. Go, DeAndre.
Knives.
Pans.
Spoon.
Forks.
Oven.
Stove.
Refrigerator.
Walls.
Baking sheet.
Windows.
Cooling rack.
Pencils.
Spatula.
Pencils. I decide that that's out. DeAndre as our winner.
Woo!
Good job, DeAndre.
And that means everyone, cameras back on. It seems Jackie is facing some technical issues. Maybe not. If not, that's okay. We can just stare at her frozen face. Let's move on to our next game. Take it away, DeAndre.
Hi, today we're going to be playing a game called Objection. This is a very fun game, and as you saw our RUCKUS team, they also happen to have side jobs as fantastic lawyers. And today we're going to be debating over some really fun and interesting topics that are the most important thing in the world. Now let's get started. I think that today's topic shall be your favorite your favorite pizza topping. Go.
Cheese. Because you cannot have pizza without cheese. It is 100% the best topping.
Objection right off the bat. The original Italian pizza did not have cheese on it. The best topping is just pepperoni, flat out.
Objection, Dylan, you're vegan. The best pizza topping is obviously mushrooms because they're very underrated. Nobody talks with them enough.
Objection. Mushrooms are gross. Yes, pineapple is good. Pineapple on pizza, but also like the ham stuff, like Canadian bacon. So like Hawaiian pizza, I know not a lot of people like it, but it's pretty cool.
Pineapples are terrible for pizza. We all know. Objection. So let me tell you, Paige, you weren't far off, but you forgot the olives. You gotta put olives on that pepperoni pizza. That's what makes it good.
Objection.
Yeah.
Okay. If someone handed you a piece of pizza with no cheese, would you be like, yeah, this is good? No, you would not.
Objection. Yes.
I have eaten cheese with pizza. Gross. I'm vegan, as I reiterated. Also, pepperoni doesn't have to be pig booty. It can be plant booty. Okay.
Oh my God.
Objection. That's really weird. You know what else is quote unquote plant booty, Dylan? Mushrooms. They're so cute. They're like little, they grow out of the ground. They're so good. They come in so many different colors. You can put them on your pizza. They just make it a little better.
Objection. Mushrooms taste weird. You know what doesn't taste weird?
Ooh.
Cheese. Mushrooms are gross.
You know what tastes good with that cheese pizza? Pineapples and Canadian bacon.
Objection. No, we're not in Canada. We're in America. Why would you want Canadian bacon?
Objection. Pineapple does not belong on pizza.
Pineapple is weird on pizza.
I think that ends the section. I declare Kai the winner. I liked their argument the best. They really fleshed it out. That was great.
I'm gonna
Good
make
job. Give a round
cheese,
of applause.
and you're gonna have
You've done a wonderful job, and you've won this competition. Good job.
Okay. That can move us on into our second to last game, which is called You Had Me At. This is sort of like the last game, except instead of arguing, we're going to be telling individual stories. And when someone hears a word within that story that sparks their own story, rant, or memory, they will say, "You had me at," say their word, and then begin their own story. And that continues until whenever we want. It can go on forever. You never know. And I'm going to prompt someone to start a story with a word, and that word will be bug.
Okay, once I went camping, there's like this lake. There's so many like weird fly things on top of the lake that like it's so gross and they all jump on you and it's really disgusting. They're like water flies or something like that. So you would go under and then you'd come out. I mean, they wouldn't like land on you or anything. Like
You had me at
I don't know
water.
if you were
Okay, so
still,
one time
but they're
I
gross.
was like, okay, so one time I was at the lake because you had me at water. One time I was at the lake and it was freezing cold because it was mountain water. So then I had to get out because I was starting to get hypothermia. It was really weird. I couldn't even touch my pinky to my thumb. It was really strange. But that's the thing. If you ever want to know,
there was this wonderful little
try
story.
and put your pinky through your thumb, and it's really interesting.
You had me at interesting. What's an interesting story? I've got stuck in a baby swing about 2.5 times. Don't ask about the half. It kind of really hurts because you get stuck. I don't know why. I haven't gotten stuck in one for maybe like 4 years. I wasn't very smart 4 years ago, and so that's how I got
stuck. You had me at
in
4 years. Okay, so I don't know if I was like specifically 4 years old, but it was in preschool. So I had scissors, right? And my friend was like standing next to me, and I was like, "I'm gonna cut your paper," and she said, "No, I'm gonna cut your paper." So we cut each other's papers, and then I cut her shirt because she cut my paper, and then she was.
You had me at shirt. I had this really lucky shirt once, and it was like bright blue, and I wore it to anything I ever competed in. And you know what happened? I won every time. I don't remember where I got the shirt. It just kind of like happened. It was just in my dresser one day, and I just wore it whenever I go like compete in like a soccer game.
You had me
I'd be doing that.
I vividly remember one time in preschool, bringing it back to another story, that we had a little climbing competition and we were climbing a bunch of pillows, but I really wanted to win. So I remember grabbing another kid's ankle and pulling them down to the floor, which was weirdly violent for like a 6-year-old, but that's what had to be done.
You had me at ankles. I think that legs should just be cut off at the ankles and that feet are pointless. We could just balance on just our ankles and we'd be perfectly fine. Sure, it'd be a little bit shorter, but doesn't everyone want to be just a little bit shorter?
You had me at ankles. Okay, so when you were a kid, you had those like razor scooters, right? And the worst pain in the world as a child was slamming the edge of those razor scooters into your ankle. It was so painful and awful. So
I think everyone can agree with the thing with the ankles, and therefore we can end this game with that amazing, relatable story from Eleanor. Thank you, everyone. That was a great game. And with that, we can move on to our last game, which is Good, Bad, Worst, which I will also be hosting due to Kai's glitchy problems. I don't know what's happening. Internet, man. Crazy. COVID. Okay. This last game is going to be called Good, Bad, Worst, in which we will have three people, Paige, Jackie, and Eleanor, giving advice. And one of them will be giving good advice, that's Paige. One of them will be giving bad advice, which is Eleanor. And Jackie will be giving bad advice, worst advice, the worst advice possible. And the rest of us will be asking questions for those three people. So go ahead, give us your worst. Ask our amazing panel of judges questions.
Okay, so I have a problem. Once I went out into to get groceries, but I didn't wear my waterproof shoes, and then I stepped in a puddle, and now my socks are wet. What do I do?
I think you got to tough it out. Maybe if you start carrying a spare pair of socks in your car or something like that, so you can just slip them on, but I think that might be just an unfortunate situation.
You take your sock like so, fling it at the wall, let it stick, and let it stay there forever.
it seems as though we can't hear our third panelist, which is very unfortunate, which means somebody's going to have to step in. Dylan, do you want to be our worst analyst? Do you want to take Jackie's place in this time of dear, poor, unfortunate internet
I
problem?
get to give myself horrible advice.
Yes!
I would love to. I think that I should just forego everything because, like, if the socks are wet, then it's just ruined the whole outfit. So let's just like take off everything and do my groceries nude. Like that's just how it is now. Like I've already ruined my socks.
I'm having this problem with my cat. He's just kind of like, well, his name's Scooby, and he just gets hair everywhere, and I don't know what to do, and it's all over everything from my clothes to the couch to my computer right now. Can you help me?
I think you should invest in like a really good cat brush. You can get off of Amazon. It makes them like cats love being brushed. I think you should just brush them or put them in like cute outfits that keep their hair to the cat.
If you don't have a pillow or like something, you could like knit it into gather the cat hair and knit it into something or put it into something and make like a pillow. Now you have a bright orange pillow because your cat's orange, right? So like now you have a bright orange pillow and it looks pretty darn cool.
I know everyone loves DIYs, so I think you should tape vacuums to your cat so that every time they shed, it's sucked back up.
Yeah, I have a question. So I've got like this plane and it's just full of snakes. So what do I do about that? How do I get rid of the snakes on this plane?
Like an airplane?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say have it be flown to where it needs to be flown and then maybe just leave it. I mean, I don't know why you would have a airplane full of snakes. Maybe like open it and then run away so the snakes go out. I think that might be the safest option. I'm not sure.
You get like bigger snakes and make them eat the other snakes, but then there's going to be the bigger snakes that are like in there, so then you have to get even bigger snakes. But
I think that plane is already a lost cause, and if you crash it anywhere, it's just going to release the snakes, so you may as well just go out with a bang. So drive that plane directly into a largely populated city and release the snakes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I got another question. I got a lot of problems, therefore a lot of questions. So my cats, they're just like everywhere. I can't get rid of them. Everywhere I look, there's another one. What do I do?
I would say give them to your friends. They make great gifts. Like here's a cat. It's a really cute. You can give them a little bag of food. It's all the responsibility is kind of taken off of you, but given in a nice gift form to someone else. It's very convenient.
You should just continue to get even more cats. And then you have a cat army and you can take over the world with the cat army.
I think like to level up from cat army, you should start collecting other animals into your house too, like the natural wildlife, like deer and bears and raccoons, and then eventually you will be the new god of nature as things.
That's definitely what I'm gonna do. Does anybody else have some?
I do have a question actually. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really having a really horrible time with my dog. He just poops everywhere, and I don't know what to do.
I would say take him to the vet. Maybe look at what they're eating because I think that might be a bigger issue. Maybe take him to the vet. I think that might be the best person to help you on that one.
That's probably like dog language for he wants his own room. So you should get your dog its own room, and then the dog can have like a little toilet, and just invest all your money on this dog's room. And yes.
I think what your dog is really trying to tell you, it's like the dog version of cats bringing you like dead mice. So I think it's trying to feed you. So I think you should just like give in to what your dog is telling you and just eat it.
It's amazing advice.
I have a quick question. I hope it's a very simple one. Basically, I know like 3 different Dylans, and I always get them confused. Can you like have any tips?
Oh, a very common one is just call them by their first initial, you know, like the Dylan P, you know what I'm saying? Or like keep a mental image, but I recommend the first letter of the last initial.
Combine all the Dylans into one Dylan.
I think you should, like, there's only room in your brain for one Dylan, so you should just kill off the other 2.
Yeah, I have a question. You guys got all day, so I'm gonna use that time and ask you as many questions as I want to. People having tech issues over Zoom. How do I fix that? What do I do?
That is such a hard question because everybody has them. I would say just try to get as close as you can to the Wi-Fi router and cross your fingers because I don't know, it's kind of inevitable, but just wish for the best.
Invade Zoom headquarters and make it work better.
I think you should get a degree in something techie and then learn how to steal other people's Wi-Fi so you have like the most Wi-Fi and then everyone else is screwed.
And with that, that's unfortunately the end of our panelist time, and that marks the end of this Ruckus show. Yay, let's give ourselves a round of applause. That was great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone watching on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah.
Dylan gives great advice. Amazing.
Yes.
I'm going to kill off the other 2 Dylans, other than Dangerous Dylan. Dangerous Dylan gets to stay.
Oh.
Let's give it up one more time for Ruckus. Well, it looks like the results are in for the ESU competition school level. Our first runner-up is Aubrey Nelson. And this year, they are invited to the branch level competition, along with the individual representing Roosevelt High School at the English Speakers Union Shakespeare competition branch level, Ed May. Congratulations.
Thank you. My heart is beating really, really, really fast. I'm really excited. We're doing together. Well, sending in videos together. I'm excited.
Yay. Thank you to our performers for sharing your competition pieces with us. You are both amazing. Thank you to our judges for your hard work in deciding tonight's winners. Many thanks to our Captain Lily and our Ruckus Improv team. Thanks to Thespian Troop 7289 of Roosevelt High School for putting together this year's acting showcase. And finally, thank you for watching. Our next virtual production will be announced on our website at www.roosevelttheater.org. We hope you'll tune in. Thank you again, and have a good night.